Hey guys, today you're going to learn how to generate these type of videos using a latest AI model from Seedance. And essentially Seedance is a model that was created and released by ByteDance, and ByteDance is a parent company for TikTok, right? So essentially TikTok created their own AI model that can generate pretty cool videos. And today I'm going to show you how you can use that within N8N to create videos like these ones right here. So let's do a quick demo run. So let's give it a play. It also generates not only the videos itself, it also generates a audio and then stitches everything together through file APIs. So you probably can't hear the audio because it's pretty low, but audio is there. So I will also provide a spreadsheet for you that will contain essentially all the logs and URLs to download the videos and actually see everything for yourself, okay? So make sure to watch through the end because I'm going to explain you how everything works, how to use a spreadsheet, and how everything is being logged behind the scenes, all right? So that's essentially how it looks. It's pretty cool. So if you're excited to learn how to do this yourself and how to generate your own style videos, because you can essentially change the prompts and system messages and generate anything you want in any style or direction that you would like to do. Cool, so now that we kind of saw what are the end results and how it looks, let me walk you quickly through the entire N8N flow and explain you how everything works between each other, okay? And also this is really aimed at the beginners, although I know it looks a little bit complex and there might be some things that you don't understand, but just don't worry, I'm including this pretty extensive, I would say, sticky note, all right? And I've included essentially how it works, what kind of API keys you need, and how to customize the content based on your niche or whatever you want to do. And again, I'll explain you also briefly which parts or nodes you need to modify to create the content that you want, right? So let's go ahead and start doing that right away. So the first thing is the content trigger. And content trigger is pretty straightforward. All it does really, it just triggers daily content generation. So you can set it based on whatever you need. So I believe here it's set to be triggered every day at midnight. So every time after midnight or right on midnight, it's gonna start generating new videos and it's gonna log everything to a Excel sheet for you, right? But again, you can change it the way you want. You can do like every 2, 3 hours, 5 hours, essentially whatever you want, and simply just change the days between. Or you can also trigger at a specific time frame. So here it's midnight, but you can do like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., and whatever that works best for you, right? So then once we trigger the entire workflow, the next step, we're gonna have a generate video idea. And this node right here is an AI agent, right? So this AI agent really, all it does, it creates ideas, right? So think of it as a sort of a script writer, if we're talking about like how things go in the movies. So this AI agent will essentially generate script ideas for this video, right? So we have a prompt and we have a system message, right? So again, if you want to create your own videos in a different direction, because right now we are essentially prompting to create content on like alien worlds and like human explorers finding all kind of weird UFO objects. But if you want to have something of your own, you just have to essentially modify the prompt right here, and also the system message where we are essentially defining the role of the AI agent, right? So here we're defining the role, the rules, the topic, idea, and caption and stuff like that, because we are also logging a caption. So if I look at this spreadsheet right here, the way it's structured, we have the ID, idea, caption, if it's ready for production. And also the one we want to look at is, hold on, I think it was, if I scroll right here, yeah, it's here. Completely got lost in my own spreadsheet. So here, if I look at the caption column, right? So we have a sort of a caption, how you would see it on YouTube Shorts. So the caption, and then it's followed by some, just emojis to make it cool. And then we adding hashtags, okay? But again, don't add all these hashtags because it's not gonna look good. So kind of I just choose 1 or 2, or you can kind of A/B test and see which hashtags are working or not. But again, everything is already prepared for you. So all you need to do, just essentially either upload it to your YouTube Shorts, to your TikTok or Instagram, whatever the platform you want to launch these on, right? So the spreadsheet and the JSON template will be available as a free download. So don't worry about it. You don't have to recreate everything. I'll be including all these links below the video in the description box. So really all you're gonna do, download both of these, and enter your API keys, and you're going to also authenticate your Gmail credentials for the spreadsheets. And I'm going to show you in a bit also how to do that quickly. Okay, so let's go back to our AI agent prompt right here, right? So this is essentially how it goes. And again, if you want to change it, you have to change the prompt right here. Again, here you're going to describe what kind of a scene, environment, and sort of kind of giving a direction for the AI agent. And for the system message is a bit important. I would suggest that you kind of leave the structure, meaning that change everything below the role. So leave the role, then change whatever you want. Then leave the rules, just really change the content within the rules. Same thing for idea, caption, and environment. Again, well, you can kind of leave the captions, just kind of change whatever the references, for the alien stuff, change it to reference whatever the content style you're going to be doing, and essentially just modify everything that is below these headlines right here, okay? Because it kind of follows the structure. But again, if you want to give it a go, you can clean out everything and A/B test with your own prompts and system messages. That's cool too. And if you run into any issues, just let me know down in the comments what kind of problems or errors you're facing, and I'm gonna help you out, so don't worry. Cool, and here we kind of see the output example here. If I just kind of make this smaller, here we have the caption generated by AI agent, ID, environment, sound, and status is for production, right? So now all of this data will be sent to a spreadsheet. So first, what we want to log everything. And after logging everything, we are sending everything to our next node, which in our case is going to be another AI agent node. But in this case, it's going to be a AI agent that generates specifically prompts, right? So we had the first AI agent that generates the idea, and then it sends that idea to the next AI agent that will be generating the actual prompt. And then that AI agent will send those prompts to WaveSpeed. Okay, so we are using essentially WaveSpeed AI to use Seedance's AI models for video generation. And then we also sending prompts to Fall API to essentially generate some audio for the background. And also we're using Fall API to kind of put everything together, right? So we're stitching all the videos together so we can get a single output, right? So this AI agent also has its own sort of behavior and what it should be doing. So very similar to the first one. So if you're a beginner, you will see a lot of similarities in a sense that how AI agents are prompted and what kind of system messages are added. It's usually the same thing in a sense of a structure. The only thing that really changes is the content and the behavior and what do you want that AI agent to really do, right? So here we are sort of prompting our AI agent to behave like a movie or slash filmmaker, right? So create a detailed film production quality scene descriptions based on whatever the data it received from the previous agent, right? Same thing for system message. We're just defining a role. You are a cinematic director. So again, we're just kind of giving a how it should behave and how it should act. And based on that, it's going to be generating the prompts, right? I think one interesting part I forgot to touch on for AI agents. So it has its own sort of a thinking tool. Okay, so this one here, it looks like a brain. And essentially what it does, it gives the AI agent and AI model a place to dump all of its sort of ideas, right? So when it comes up with ideas, it's going to brainstorm and it's going to dump all of that into this thinking tool where it can think about if this idea or whatever the data makes sense. If not, it can kind of think about it, brainstorm it, and then make a better decision in a sense. So think of it as a additional brain for the AI agent on top of the actual AI model. Then we're using a essentially parser tool here. So we want to parse the output into a specific JSON format. Again, nothing crazy there. And then we're sending everything to a custom JS node. Here, essentially what's happening, we are splitting or essentially extracting the scene descriptions, right? So this JS code, all this really does, it's mapping or whatever, filtering through the data to extract specific descriptions for the scenes. If you're a beginner, again, don't really overcomplicate in a sense to overthink what these do and what is JS node. If you have any questions about JavaScript and how that goes and integrates within N8N Flow. And if you want to learn more, again, let me know in the comments. I'll drop a separate course on the basics and foundations for JavaScript and how that is used within N8N. So now let's move on to the next one. And once we extracted all the data for the scenes, we are sending it to the next node, which will be actually to start generating the video content or video clips from WaveSpeed API, right? So if I open this up, all it really does, it just essentially uses a HTTP node. Again, if you're a beginner, something good to know. If you're working with video content generation flows like this, you're going to be using a lot of HTTP nodes, and HTTP node essentially is sending a request to either get the data or to post the data. So in this case, we are posting data to a API, so that's why we're using a post method. So again, the basics for the APIs, if you want to send something to API, it's going to be post. If you want to get something from API endpoint, you're going to be using a get method, right? So here we sending all of that data to API to the WaveSpeed, okay? And then we will be waiting for about 240 seconds, okay? Because generating AI content takes a bit of time. It's probably less than 240 seconds, but to be on a safe side, we want to add a bit of an extra time. Because if you don't put enough wait time, what's going to happen, it's just going to essentially crash, and it's going to say that the request, it's a bad request because you're trying to get the video when it's not ready yet. So it's always good to give a bit of a buffer time. So it's always a good idea to give more time than less. But again, once you get into it, you're going to kind of figure out what is the best time for a video to generate. But to be on a safe side, always give a bit of extra time. So again, something around 200 seconds is always kind of the safe zone for these type of videos. Then we sending everything to the HTTP node again, but this time we are using a get method. If you guys remember, post is to send the data to API, and to retrieve the data from API, we're using get, right? So it's pretty easy. So you're posting something like a letter, and to get something you are getting. It's pretty straightforward. And again, we are using WaveSpeed's endpoint here. So we're getting whatever we generated from WaveSpeed back. And then we're sending all of that to file API. So here, again, we are posting data file because we want to now generate the sound effects or background sounds for our videos. Same method, okay, HTTP node, where we're doing that. And then again, kind of the same structure, we will be waiting for file to finish up with generating the audio. And again, here we have 60 seconds. Okay, so audio usually generates faster because generating video content takes more time, there's more details, it's more heavy load process. We're generating audio and sound effects is pretty fast, so usually 60 seconds is more than enough. Then we are retrieving everything through the HTTP node. Again, you guys at this point already familiar with everything. We are getting back the sound effects and the sound from the file API, right? And then essentially what we're doing here, we're using a custom JS node again, just to simply list out the final URL. Okay, so we want to get the final URL for the entire thing. So meaning that now we have the audio and video, so we're getting the URL for those, and now we are merging all of that into a single video. And for that, we're using file API's API as well /compose. So what it does, essentially, it kind of merges video and audio tracks into a single track. And then we're doing the same thing. We're waiting for everything to be stitched together. Here, I believe around 60 seconds, because stitching together takes not too much time. It's really fast. It just essentially audio video comes together and gets stitched. So we don't need to have too much time there. And then we again using a get method to get all of that combined stitched data or video output together. And finally, we are logging everything into a Google spreadsheet. Okay, so before I get lost in the noise, so the way you want to add your own spreadsheet account. So when you're going to download this JSON template, it's going to be looking like this. All you're going to do, you're going to open this node right here, and then you're going to click on this drop down menu, and then you're going to click on create new credential, right? And all you really need to do is just sign in with your Google, and it's gonna do its own thing. Okay, so it's gonna link all the spreadsheet data, all the events it needs, and essentially that's all you need to do. And also you're gonna download the spreadsheet template right here, put it into your spreadsheets, and then just simply select it from the list ID right here. So again, if you copy pasted the entire spreadsheet, probably it's going to sync up and you don't have to change anything really, just really add your own account in here. And the final result would look something like this. Okay, so I kind of played around with different videos and different content styles. So this is the last one. It's going to essentially log everything here, including the final output URL. So if I click on it, I'm going to get the URL. And if I copy paste that into my URL handle, it's going to be a downloadable link. And if I open it, we're going to get the same video that you guys saw at the very beginning. So this is the end result. So it's pretty cool. I believe we have like 3 videos combined together. So it's pretty cool. If you want to have 3 separate videos, you can just upload it to CapCut and kind of cut them into 3 separate videos. Or you can adjust the prompt and make sure that you're only generating 1 video as well. And that's pretty much it. And again, for all my beginners out there, I've included pretty, I would say, beginner-friendly sticky note right here. Again, I'll go over it. It explains how it works, overview, required API keys. I've also included the Google Sheets link here. So if you click on it, it's going to bring you to template. Just simply clone it or copy paste it into your Google account spreadsheets, and you're going to be good to go in there. So the link is right here in the sticky note. And I've also left some notes how to customize the content if you want to go in a different direction. So everything is explained in here. But again, if you run into any issues or if any questions, always feel free to leave a comment and I'll help you out. I guess if you did enjoy the content, as always, like and subscribe, and make sure to enable your notifications so you get notified when the next video drops. Because with all my videos, I'm always including free resources and pretty much everything you need to have to be up and running with these type of workflows, including JSON templates, spreadsheets, and pretty much any other external resources that I'll be using. I'll be always including them for free. All right, and I'll see you next time.